So, these guys finally arrived.
After waiting for my pre-orders to ship out, I managed to finally get myself a copy of CT Toys' Mafex 075. And as much as I really like this figure, it's got issues. Though we'll talk about that. Right off the bat, I do want to start off with positives. As far as getting that, paint sheen that, the reissue of Mafex 75 had, the original didn't, right? As far as getting that across, they've done a really good job of, recreating the look. They've done that thing again where they've shrunk the figure down slightly, so obviously they're not getting sued. But even with the shorter size, you can tell it's supposed to be Mafex 75. It gets that off really well, right? And it looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm keeping that in. All the articulation is there. That's kind of where my problem lies. Because the joints, they definitely do work. But particularly in the chest area. Right now I'm sort of just going through everything. Obviously I'm talking over footage, otherwise I'd be rambling for hours. But the articulation is better than what it was on the CT Toys black suit I had, but sadly in being able to stay on the figure, certain parts have issues that I didn't have last time. Such as the neck just not working at all for some reason, so he just can't look down. The legs being extremely tight to where it's uncomfortable. I managed to fix them by just popping them off and putting them back on. I think they might have been fitted way too tight. An issue which other parts of the figure do also share, but that was the fix there. The foot fell off again. It's somehow, I think that's happened with every time I've gone to film one of these. I've ended up popping off the foot. Like with every figure I've tried to do a review of, it's really bad. But yeah, the legs were uncomfortably tight. I think I'll try to include some of the audio from this part, just to sort of show you the noise and how uncomfortable it made me, because it felt like it was gonna snap. Right, out of the box, that wasn't really a good feeling. The arms were fine. But the legs, specifically the legs, the knee joints were also perfectly fine. But the legs, and then later on, I try to screw around with the chest. You see me twisting and turning here. I really have to push for that. And off camera, I ended up breaking it. I broke it trying to do that. So I'm just gonna slide to some photos now. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
So, when I started filming this, I kind of came in wanting to like it, given how my last figure from CT was. I got really excited. And, I'm not going to say there was bias. I definitely mean the stuff I was saying. Right. Then it broke on me.
And, with it breaking, I didn't, intentionally, snap it. It's not like I just turned around and snapped the figure in half for, clickbait, right? I genuinely did want this to be, a positive review, because, as fun as it is to review stuff like Full Power, not Full Power, Legendary Super Saiyan, that, pile of something, it was a waste of plastic. I don't enjoy it, because not only is it my money that goes into these kind of things, but I do like to buy figures to use them, right? This was supposed to be my long-term, Spider-Man. And it broke on me, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna say it's, ruined the entire figure, because I have managed to fix it. You don't see it here, but eventually, at some point in the video, I do get around to swapping out, the snap chest, peg with the one on my CT Toys black suit. So I'm not down a figure, which is great. And for a penny and for a pounding, I suppose. But, I suppose this is the kind of thing you do have to, watch out for with bootlegs. If you're not very versed in, DIY fixes, or you just don't have a company, right, that you can go to about these things, you're kind of screwed, right? You just kind of have to pray it doesn't break on you. It's the same with, third-party figures. They have the same sort of issues. So it's not just bootlegs, right? It's not just the fact that, CT Toys have made this in, the recast factory or whatever. Not that I know how they're made. I would love to. I'd love to sit down and have that conversation. But, these are things that happen, and I think with that in mind, right, before it broke, I did say at some point, I don't know if I included it in the footage that I left with audio, but at some point I did say that I wanted to give it a 7, because It's on the level of like the black suit I got. It doesn't have the same issues, but the tight joints kind of like it makes me a little uneasy to pose. And then the tight joints broke. So I think with that, it's definitely fixable. That is a fixable thing if it's on multiple figures. If it's just on mine, then I am going to still say, like, you know, if you're buying, be wary of it, but do, like, you know, think about the fact I did recommend it with a 7 before it broke. But I think off my personal copy and the fact that it, you know, it did snap on me and I had to, like, fix it, I want to lower it down to a 5 because it's good. It's really good. But, you know, tight joints, it really kills it for me, right? It's like the worst thing. I think I'd rather have loose joints than tight ones because like they're easier to fix. With tight ones, you make one wrong move and you've broken the figure, like I did. So, yeah, I think takeaway, it's a really good figure, but the QC just really like brought this one down for me, right? I did want to give it a 7, but again, I just couldn't. So, yeah, that's my takeaway, right? CT Toys could have knocked this out of the park, and maybe they have. Maybe, again, it is just my release, right? Like my release, whoa. Like, my figure. There we go, that's better. But it's kind of hard to say. I can't really, like, go to somebody else and say, oh, how was your copy, how was your copy? I do kind of just have to assume that what I've bought is the exact same product you'll get. Otherwise, at that point, I'm shilling on hypotheticals. It's a little disappointing, but definitely isn't bad. I will say that. I want to say if that's something you know how to fix or that's something you're prepared to tackle, pick it up. But if that's not something you're wanting to deal with, like if you're not wanting to like deal with like the whole stress of like, you know, having to fix the tight chest, having to replace like the chest joint, right? Or even just you just, you know, you want to screw around with the chest without having to DIY stuff. I don't know if I'd pick this one up just yet.